year's theme for World Population Day is Vulnerable Populations in Emergencies. It is a reminder that in a fragile world where war and persecution are displacing record numbers of people, those with the least power need the most protection. As our population is increasing, what are the challenges we face and what is the way forward? All these and more we'll try to answer today on Earth File. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ayala Kasim. Fast-growing Nigeria is on course to outstrip the United States by 2050 to become the country with the third largest population. India is set to overtake China and become the world's most populous country in less than a decade, 6 years sooner than previously forecast, the United Nations predicted. By 2050, 6 countries are expected to exceed 300 million. They are China, India, Indonesia, Nigeria, Pakistan, and the United States of America.
In 2015, the world has around 7.3 billion inhabitants. We have added 1 billion people since 2003 and 2 billion since 1990. By the year 2030, we expect that the world will have around 8.5 billion people and around 9.7 billion in 2050. Projections farther into the future are increasingly uncertain, but our medium variant projection foresees a world population of around 11.2 billion people in 2100.
The 2015 revision builds on the previous revision by incorporating additional results from the 2010 round of national population census, as well as findings from recent specialized demographic and health surveys that have been carried out around the world. The 2015 revision provides the demographic data and indicators to assess population trends at the global, regional, and national levels and to calculate many other key indicators commonly used by the United Nations system.
Population trends will be affected by trajectories in the 3 major components of population change: fertility, mortality, and migration, but especially by the future course of fertility.
The 2015 revision of World Population Prospects is the 21st round of official United Nations population estimates and projections that have been prepared by the Population Division of the Department of Economic and Social Affairs of the United Nations Secretariat. Moreover, the United Nations report reveals that during the 2015 and 2050 period, half of the world's population growth is expected to be concentrated in 9 countries. They are India, Nigeria, Pakistan, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Ethiopia, Tanzania, the United States, Indonesia, and Uganda. China and India remain the 2 largest countries in the world, each with more than 1 billion people, representing 19% and 18% of the world's population. But by 2022, the population of India is expected to surpass that of China. Currently, among the 10 largest countries in the world, 1 is in Africa, that is Nigeria, 5 are in Asia, they are Bangladesh, China, India, Indonesia, and Pakistan. Brazil and Mexico are in Latin America, United States of America is in Northern America, and Russia is in Europe. Of these, Nigeria's population, currently the 7th largest in the world, is growing the most rapidly. Consequently, the population of Nigeria is projected to surpass that of the United States by 2050, at which point it will become the 3rd largest country in the world. Dr. Omolasho Omosheyin is the head of the Lagos Liaison Office of the United Nations Population Fund in Nigeria.
Well, issues of population has 2 sides to it. The first side, of course, is the fact that we need people to do stuff. You know, if you want to make economic progress, you need skilled people who are able to go out there, make some money, and turn this over into investments that can benefit people. But of course, the other side of population has to do with resources. Resources are limited all over the world. And it is good for us to wisely plan, you know, knowing the amount of resource we have, so that we don't get to a point where we have populations that we cannot cater for in terms of resources. That is the downside of population. So give or take, but knowing that presently Nigeria has one of the highest fertility rates in the world and also one of the fastest growing countries, we know that that is not going to be good news for us if we overtake United Nations, United States of America by the year 2050. We have to think of the fact that as we are now, we're importing a lot of, you know, foodstuffs to even feed ourselves. We are not paying as much attention to agriculture as we should. Entrepreneurship is still rudimentary in the country. Number of industries that we have are still very few. Many of the things we use in Nigeria are imported. So imagine the population continuing to increase with this background that I've just given to you. Now that is not good. And I think we should do something about it.